Attitude of gratitude. It is interesting to note that the word gratitude is derived from the ancient Latin word gratia, which means grace. My personal experience is that the more gratitude we possess, the more we have grace in our lives. There are a lot of scientific studies which powerfully and consistently show an intimate link between gratitude and happiness. In this meditation, we will transform our attitude, filling it with gratitude. We should not be merely grateful for some things or at some times and then lose that feeling of gratitude at other times and in other circumstances. In this meditation, we will fill our whole heart with gratitude. Before we begin the meditation, I would like to share a few tips on how to go about cultivating an attitude of gratitude. I want to reiterate here that we are transforming our entire attitude, not just being grateful for a few things here and there. This exercise is best done as soon as you wake up. Do it now, but make it a practice to do it early in the morning. Take a moment now and think of 3 things that you're grateful for. And these 3 things have to be from different aspects of your life. First one, pick one person in your life who either cares about you or inspires you. It can be someone who is living now or who has passed away. Second, pick any virtue or quality in your life that was given to you as a gift from the Supreme Source. For example, in my own personal life, I'm grateful for my spiritual freedom, this inner freedom that no one can take away from me. I feel ecstatic that I'm aware of my true, real self. Third one, pick something in your life for which you are already very grateful. For example, I'm eternally grateful for the awareness that I'm God's child. You can pick whatever works for you. These are the general categories, but the specifics can vary every day. Are you ready? Let's begin our meditation. Inhale and exhale deeply and slowly a few times. Keep doing this for a few moments. Your breath is relaxing you and allowing you to sink deeply into your center. Now watch your thoughts. Just keep watching them as you would watch scenery from a moving car. Don't analyze them. Just let your stream of consciousness come and go. Now, gently become aware of what you're holding inside you. What thoughts are dominating more than others? It could be something that happened during the past week, or an interaction you had with someone close to you. Just keep watching your thoughts and see what it is that you're holding inside yourself. Gently but slowly transform your thoughts. Start by watching your breath go in and out, in and out. Now be grateful for your breath. Just be and be thankful for your breath. Now pick one person in your life that inspires you or cares about you. First, try to pick someone that cares about you. If that doesn't work, then choose someone that inspires you, either living or not. Think of that person. Now give thanks for that person being in your awareness. Take a few moments now and give thanks for all the ways that your life is good and beautiful because of that person. Go back to watching your breath. Watch it go in and out, in and out, in and out calmly. Gently, when you're ready, let's move on to the second focus. Now think of a quality or virtue that you have that you're grateful for. Take your time. Be generous with yourself. Don't second guess or wonder if it is true or not. Now, remind yourself that it was a gift given to you by the Supreme Being, the Divine Source, a higher power, or the cosmic universe, whatever you feel comfortable with. Now give thanks for this wondrous gift. Take a few moments and savor this gift. Again, go back to watching your breath. No need to direct it. Just watch it as it goes in and out. In and out. You're being lulled into a calm, serene state. In this state of relaxation, you're connected to your core being, to the real you. Gently, when you're ready, let's move on to the third focus. Now take a few moments and reflect on your life. Pick something in your life for which you're already very grateful. Reflect on one thing that is profound, nourishing, and good in your life. If you're having a difficult time finding something, then just take a few more moments and think of one valuable thing in your life. It could be your work. It could be your faith. It could be your family. It could be your friends. Or it could even be your breath. And say to yourself, I am so very grateful for this in my life. For the next few moments, keep bringing to mind either the same things or different aspects of your life and keep giving thanks. Give thanks for this moment for this breath and for this awareness. Gently come back to the room you're sitting in when you're ready. You feel recharged with an attitude filled with gratitude. This practice helps you fill your whole being with gratitude. You're beginning to feel grace in your life. Om Shanti, I am peace.
Om Shanti, everyone. A very warm welcome to the Happy Path Cultivating Satisfaction. Today is the last class of this 4-week series, and as always, we will first get started with a short guided meditation. Kindly invite you to join me in this meditation. Let's get the body in a restful, still position. And even if the body is not feeling rested, your rest, your restful position will help it come back to a restful position. I, the soul, is always in a deep rest of my innate nature. I rest in my peace, in my love, in my joy. That is, again and again, I bring my attention to who I am. Who I am gives me, the soul, an experience of rest. The restlessness that we experience is the mind trying to search for everything that is already me in the outside world. And the mind fails repeatedly. And if it succeeds, it is fleeting experience of who I am. I'm not a second of love, a minute of joy, or an hour of peace. I'm an eternal pool of love, of joy, of peace. The moment I awaken to this eternal pool that always exists, liberation occurs. The mind and body also start feeling the rest of I, the soul. Mind doesn't need to run anywhere. Body doesn't need to do anything. I know who I am. I don't need to find myself in objects, in people. I am full stop, all hunt, all chase. Hence, with me. But the habituated mind pulls us, and we get caught up by the deceptions, by the force of the mind. Do this, then you will be happy. This needs to occur, then you will be happy. Why has this not occurred? That is why I am sad. These are the stories of the mind that we get caught up in. And once again, we start looking for who we are in the outside world. So in order for me to always be anchored in my truth, to always be together with Supreme God Himself, His supreme powers, His supreme presence will keep me away from the traps of the mind. No matter how strong that pull is, nothing is more powerful than God Himself. being connected to this eternal pool of joy that God is helps me realize that this eternal pool is within me. And slowly the mind understands that my master has everything. I don't need to work hard to be who I am. Every thought that is pulling me, I can surrender it to God. I don't need to give in to those pulls of do this, then that will happen. Why has this not happened? How long do I have to wait? How come this happened in this way? If this would have happened, then that could have happened. These are all the pulls of the mind. But my simple, deep, powerful truth, I always am joy. I always am love. Where do I need to go to find myself? This matter world does not have love without me and my presence. This matter world does not have joy without me and my warm presence. I'm not here to make this world perfect or to make myself perfect or to make my role or my story perfect. I am present in my perfection in every part of the story. The story could be perfect or imperfect, doesn't matter. My perfect presence will color the story and emerge the perfection even at the role level. This story is just for me to express and experience who I am. It is a harmless, innocent story of all souls, very benevolent, very just. Warm welcome, everyone, to the last class on the happy path cultivating satisfaction. Today, we will focus on two other dimensions that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Actually, three. We just started the second dimension, but we didn't finish it. But bottom line, how do we always be satisfied no matter what? So this is what this conclusive class will be about. But as always, let's get started with a quick recap from last class. Anybody who had attended last class, if you could maybe share a point that stayed with you. If you could put it on the chat, that would be nice. We talked about how to stay satisfied with our own selves, right? Anybody recollects a point from last class? No? I don't see anything on the chat yet. Um, no problem. Looks like it's last week everything went away, huh? Hopefully it is within you and it's just not coming up right now. So we talked about how when we know ourselves limitedly, just as the body or the role we are playing, then automatically there is a lot of dissatisfaction, or we become part of the roller coaster ride of I like myself, I don't like myself, I'm happy with myself, I'm not happy with myself. It's a constant seesaw, right? So we want to come back to that state where we are eternally happy with our own selves. And that comes when I totally, with clarity, understand who I am and who I am not. This true acceptance, when it flows, it really creates, beautiful role as well. But most importantly, when I know that I am that spiritual being and I have come here to play my part. Without playing this part, I cannot know myself. So every experience while playing this story, this drama of my life, where I get either a female body, bunch of relatives, bunch of other things, assets, qualifications, titles, they're all part of the story. It doesn't matter how that is. The story is fixed. It can't change. I've not come to fix this particular story, but I have come to be in this story with my perfect presence. Till I don't remember how perfect and beautiful I already am, I will get caught up in that story. I will be busy trying to make who that character in that story to be perfect, which is not really possible if I try to do it that way. Here at Brahma Kumaris, we are taught a very smart method. Be in the intoxication of who you are, your truth, and see how the story transforms itself on its own. It is a sense of ego when we say, I'm trying to make this perfect, I'm trying to make myself better, or I'm trying to make others better. It automatically generates an ego that I have done something. But this pure pride that I am already beautiful, perfect, being in that intoxication of how God sees me automatically changes the story. And you won't feel that I have done anything. You'll only feel I have awakened to my eternal beauty, and my eternal beauty, the presence of my eternal beauty is changing the story. So this is something that we had talked about in the last class, and let's get started with today's class. We actually just ended, we were talking about 4 dimensions of satisfaction. We talked about satisfied with your own self, satisfaction with others, satisfaction with life, and then satisfaction with the supreme. So in the second dimension, what makes us dissatisfied with others? We talked about the 3 E's: ego, envy, expectations, right? We went over this. So now we will go towards the solutions. When we imbibe 3 A's, in our life, in our relationships, then automatically you will start experiencing satisfaction with others. Any guesses on what are those 3 A's, 3 attributes or qualities that start with letter A we need to imbibe so that we have this satisfaction with others? Love to hear from you all. Acceptance of the self. Okay, that was for the previous question. What are the 3 A's? One is acceptance. We also need acceptance of others, right? If I want to be satisfied with others, I need to learn how to accept others. But it starts with first being me. What are the other two A's? First one is acceptance. Any other guesses? So we'll get started. Maybe some of you will remember or maybe get a guess of what else those three A's could be. Two other A's could be. So first is the acceptance. And like one of you have said here, that the more I learn to accept my own self, it becomes very easy to accept others. And then when you sit in your eternal beauty of who you are, the spiritual being that we talked about in the previous class, the more easy it is for me to accept my story. But if I know myself only as the character in the story, which is fixed and which will go through its storms of ups and downs, there is nobody who can say I am flawless. I'm only kind, or I'm only active, or I'm only hardworking, or I'm only honest. Nobody can say it. Every character in the story has made mistakes and corrections. They've had good and bad parts. The most important is to know who you are. The more you learn and accept and realize who you truly are as a spiritual being, it will become very easy to accept the story as a fixed part of your expression, for the soul to express and experience variety experiences. But and this kind of enables us to accept other people's story. So Meghna doesn't feel like that, that little bit of irritation she would feel when she will see someone who's either lazy or someone who's too talkative. These things would disturb her in the past. And then she's not satisfied with others. But if you want to be satisfied at every moment of life, then you need to know how to accept others as they are. And this becomes very easy when you've learned how to accept your own story as is. And the second A that also helps is accommodate. Okay, amicable and amiable. Okay, that is also good thing to have, amicable, good quality to have. This second one, accommodate, that we are talking about, and feel free to type to everyone when you chat. That way others can see the responses that are being put out. So this accommodate means it's a deep understanding that in this story, we are all diverse. We are playing such diverse roles, right? Like there is so much of variety in this world drama. No part is similar to the other part, whether it is an identical twin, um, or close relatives, whatever it might be, we are all very, very unique in our own ways. Can I maintain respect? Can I accommodate everyone in my heart? Can everybody deserve respect? One is easy at the soul level, we'll say, I respect everyone. And actually, if you develop that kind of respect at the soul level, that eternally all 8 billion souls are equally beautiful, equally loving, equally bright, equally loved by God, then it also becomes easy to accommodate everybody's role. You accept and then accommodate them. That's not just I accept that, in your role, you are meant to play a bit of dishonesty or bit of laziness. I accommodate because I know in this role, you also have beauty. We all have strengths and weaknesses in the roles we are playing. Nobody can say I only have strengths. Nobody can say I have only weaknesses. So the biggest anchor here, if I can say, is that same thing, knowing your beautiful self, your flawless self. And it's easy to see that flawless self of others in spite of what might be coming out at the role level. And this is such a big power, because this person who I'm interacting, whom I'm playing my story with, like Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise, all these actors, they have co-actors, right? And each one inspires the others to play a role in a particular manner. So when I can see the beauty of the actor beyond the story, this really triggers a big transformation in them, because nobody has seen them with so much respect, with so much admiration. So they really get touched by it, because they themselves could not see their own beauty, but somebody has seen them in this elevated manner. So this makes a big difference for them. And then the third quality is adjusting. And we talked about the bamboo tree example, I think not in the last, but the previous class, about how a bamboo tree in the biggest storms, even though it has such tiny, skinny stem, will bend, will adjust to the storm, and as a result will not break. So instead of wanting others to change, right? Why are they like this? They should be more active, they should be more honest, they should be less talkative. Whatever expectations we might have, we all know, how can I adjust? How can I adjust with them? And see how once you adjust, they will start adjusting back. Adjustment basically means I don't need any change in the outer world for me to be happy. My mind is talking, this needs to happen, that needs to happen. How come I've given so much, they're not giving anything? How long can I tolerate this dishonesty? How long can I tolerate laziness? Mind is talking. And I am saying, yes, I see all of that at the role level, at the story level. You are right. But my happiness is not dependent on the story. I, the soul, my innate nature is joy. I will adjust in this story and see what I can do to help this other person also change. But first thing is I adjust, meaning I don't need the other person to change for me to be happy. So internally adjust, and then externally, if needed, if it's your role, maybe as a parent you need to speak up, maybe as a sibling or as a child, whatever it might be, you might need to speak up. But I'm not speaking without adjusting. When you speak your words with irritation inside, with sadness inside, then that really has a negative impact on others. They will not adjust. They will find egoistic attack coming from you, and their ego will also jump back. So that's why it is so important to first internally adjust and then say anything that needs to be said. Any questions on these three qualities that we have spoken, that how these will really help us in imbibing satisfaction with others? This is so important, right? We are all living with people in this world, whether it's at work, at home, or elsewhere. If we imbibe these three A's, being satisfied with others becomes very easy. Yeah, go ahead, Digvida. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much. My question is to know the difference between adjust and accommodate. I don't know if it is the same thing, or if not, what is clearly the difference between the two?
Yeah, no, good question. Good. So accommodate, it's like ocean, right? Like ocean where you put every kind of thing, water from rivers, lakes, rain, and then people throwing trash, everything comes, and ocean accommodates everything, yet doesn't get influenced by it. Eventually all the trash and everything is put back on the shore. It doesn't get colored by everything, yet it accommodates everything. It is something like that, where I have a big heart. My mind might be creating commentary of they're like this, they are like that, and all of that. I'm able to accommodate everything because I know the truth of every soul. And I also know that even at the role level, there are strengths and weaknesses. So when I recognize that, I'm able to respect everyone. Nobody is sitting in my heart as a someone that I have judged or been critical about, right? So everybody is sitting in my heart with respect. That is accommodating. Adjustment means others are different. How can I ensure my happiness is not dependent on people's behavior, people's personality? How can I shift internally so that my happiness doesn't slip away because of their behavior? So in families, we have this, right? Like especially in today's world, spouses will be exact opposite. One is an extrovert, other will be an introvert. One is lazy, the other one will be very hardworking. One is patient, other is impatient. Adjustment means my happiness is not dependent on others. I adjust by knowing my nature is happiness. And then once internally I have adjusted, I have maintained my happiness, then I speak up. I might give correction to others, but not in a disturbed manner. That, hey, you need to change. Because of you, my life is all hell. That will not be the tone. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right. So we will move on to the third dimension, which is being satisfied with the drama of life, right? We are all playing many, many roles, and we have played many roles in this big journey that we've all been upon. And in this, there are so many situations that come up, so many different actors come up, so many different experiences come up. How do I remain satisfied with everything? Right? And this, if we learn, automatically satisfaction, the intensity and the consistency of it increases. So we all need to first of all realize that this particular drama that we are all part of, right? So very important to know, you the actor, and each actor has their own story. The story at work, story at home, story elsewhere. We are all actors, and our story is constantly running. It is fixed, but it is running. I need to understand the dynamics of this story. The one who understands what is the foundation of the story, what is the principle, what are the characteristics of the story. Each soul has its own unique story, but the core elements of the story are very similar, very similar. It might seem like, I like their story better, they have everything, I don't like my story, or at least my story is better than this one's story. We all have those kind of ideas. But if we look at a much higher level, this story for every actor will make them experience both happiness and sadness. There will be scenes that will automatically generate sadness in the mind, and there will be scenes which will generate happiness in the mind. This is for everyone, whether you're playing the role of a ordinary person, extraordinary person, the role of a beggar, the role of a hero, the role of a president, doesn't matter. Every actor has to go through these experiences which are dual. They are opposites. You will experience defeat, you will experience victory. Nobody can say, I've only had defeat. then you are looking at the story of the limited you. For example, Meghna's story has a birthday and a death day, but the soul's journey in this drama has been much longer than Meghna's journey. The body's name is Meghna, which has a birthday, and I'm sure there is a death day also of Meghna, right? But not the soul. So when I look at the soul level, then each one of us has gone through defeat and victory. You might say, maybe you might say one particular character in the story that they've only had victory, they've had no defeat. You're again looking at the role level. At the soul level, we are talking about the destiny, the life that the soul has gone through. Each soul, 8 billion souls, have had defeat and victory. They've had profit and loss. They've had fame and defamation. Every soul, and Meghna's character, a lot of defamation. She's had a lot of defeats as well. She's had a lot of sadness as well. But it's not all that. She's also gotten the fame, the happiness, the victory, loss, and profit. So Meghna has seen everything, even in this role that she's playing, and even in the previous roles she's played, which the character could have been called Tom, Tina, who knows? We don't know what all those roles were called. So this is, bottom line, is a roller coaster ride. You don't know when that sudden turn will come, when there will be a twist, when there will be an up, when there will be a down. The one who awakens to this reality that all of this will come my way, they will not sit and say, why has sadness come? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy, everything is falling in place, it's so nice. They will never have that attachment to either happiness or sadness. They know this story is going to make them go through everything. What is the problem with it? Ask yourself, what is the problem if there are sad moments in the story? That sadness in the story affects me because I've not awakened to my happy nature. This defamation in the story affects me because I've not recognized how much God thinks I am worthy, how every soul eternally thinks I am worthy. In the story, some souls will defame, some souls will think I am famous. But go to the eternal level. Each soul is super worthy, super needed for this drama to unroll itself. Nobody can say the role of the beggar is useless, we can cut it off. No, this drama cannot be complete. Whether it is ordinary, that is all the language of the story. At the unlimited level, there is no, this one is better role, that one is that. There's nothing. Every role is needed. And including Meghna has played all kinds. She must have played the role of a beggar, who knows, a role of a big villain, maybe a role of a saint, and then maybe a role of, who knows, a rich person, and then maybe and then maybe an extremely poor person. Every role has been played by the soul. What is the problem? Without playing this diverse role, soul cannot experience this rich experiences we get of jealousy, sadness, stress, bliss, fear. Every experience is welcome. What is the problem? The one who becomes fearless, saying, this, whether I like it or not, life, my story will make me go through all of this. What is the problem? I can sit and keep complaining. I can sit and keep creating expectations. Oh, in my story, I wish my child was like this. I wish my spouse was like this. My in-laws were like this. My manager was like this. My office role was like this. My education should have been in Harvard. I can sit and keep wishing, spend the entire life in misery like that. Or say, so what? I went to an unknown university. So what if my child is ordinary? What is the problem? So important to accept the story as is by wearing the seat belt of knowledge. Roller coaster cannot be enjoyed without wearing a seat belt. But if you wear the seat belt that this story is going to make me go through all the experiences, whether I like it or not, whether I sit and complain, it will make me go through all the experiences. What is wrong with it? Wear the seatbelt of knowledge. Either soul is happiness, who will go through this roller coaster ride, then you will not be dissatisfied with anything. And your satisfaction in ups and downs of the roller coaster, sudden twist of the roller coaster, is what will change the story to align with your truth. This has been Meghna's wonderful experience so many times. When she didn't question the story, why is she being defamed like this? Why is she losing again and again? Why is there so much sadness? No question. I know who I am. And then the story starts changing on its own. And so I don't get that ego that, see, I changed. No, my presence, the presence of my truth, changes the story to align with my truth. Soul's nature is happiness. That story will change to make every scene happy. But Meghna is not, the soul is not trying to stay in that truth so that the story changes. That is just bliss, that how your presence is changing the story and its colors. That's just bliss. Man, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting in that intoxication of who I am and how everything is changing around me on its own. That is bliss. But this is the smartest way to live your truth and see how the story starts changing. Any questions on this slide? All good? Okay. And to some extent, we talked about this I think in the previous series, if you had joined, faith in Drama's principle, basically the story of your life. What is the principles on which, the foundation on which your story is running? Not just your story, every soul story has this principle, that this story is very benevolent. The word in Hindi is kalyan. There's always benevolence. In the darkest situations in the story of your life, there is benevolence in it. If the soul doesn't go through extreme sorrow, they will not know their extreme joyful nature. It is only in the darkness that you come to know what light is. So every soul has to go through jealousy, stress, fear, all kinds of different experiences to know their non-dual personality. So there is benevolence. Whatever is occurring in the drama, there is justice in it. There is not any partiality that this particular soul will get a very beautiful role. They will only have happiness in life. No. Every soul in this drama, all 8 billion souls, have spent 3/4 of their time in this story with full of joy. And then 1/4 of the portion of their stories, there is some or the other. And again, we are not talking about the limited story of Meghna, but the soul who's been here for centuries. Maybe some of us for thousands of years we've been around. So in that 1,000 years, 750 years have been spent in joy, and then 250 years there have been some ups and downs. And then 2 other principles by which this entire drama runs by is, the one who does will get. So if you are working hard, your hard work will certainly bring you the results. There is no doubt in that. Second part of the law of this story is, as you sow, so shall you reap. So if you're finding that in your story, there's just been too much of stress or too much of sorrow coming, check the quality of your deeds. And again, it's possible in this particular lifetime, you've not maybe given stress to others or disturbed others or caused sorrow for others. But again, if you look at the journey that soul has been on, then again, we can know that it is quite possible in the previous life, we sent some kind of negative energy which is coming back to us. No problem. Settlement is occurring. So once you have an understanding of the principles of how this story is running, what are the laws behind it? Why did this scene come in my life? Once I understand all the intricate details of the story, then I will have no questions. Why do I have this person in my life who's always mad at me or who's always not happy with me? And I have this other person who's always very nice to me. Now I know, based on this story and the principles, why certain actors are behaving in a particular way, why certain scenes come to my life. So acceptance becomes very easy when you understand the story and its dynamics. Any questions so far? Anything you'd like to share? Feel free to raise your hand or put it on the chat. I'm reading a comment here, but doesn't the Gita say that we have no rights to the fruits of our work? So someone might work very hard, but still not get results. So at least the way I have understood, I have not read Gita, but the way I have understood it is that it says do karam, which is actions, perform actions, but don't wait for the results. Don't look for the results. That is true. That is the level if I can be at, it's very good. But how does that come? Because once you know that whatever good you have done will come back to you, then why will I sit and wait? Or why will I question? I did so much good. I worked so hard. Nothing is happening in my life. I won't. I know that the story will eventually, whether it is in this lifetime or next lifetime, doesn't matter. It will come back to me. That is what Gita says. So you be carefree. Don't sit and burden. I've done so much hard work. Nothing is coming back to me. It will. It is a very deep, inescapable law of the story. If you have done good, it will chase you. If you have done bad, it will chase you. The soul will get it, not the role. So it's possible the good that Meghna has done in this story might not be received by Meghna, but the soul will certainly get. Maybe in next birth I will be called Tom. Tom will get it. Whatever Meghna did will come to Tom because the soul is the one that gets the return, right? Because the act is being performed by the soul, not Meghna. Meghna is just a limited character. And then purpose of life, live your truth, right? This is very important. It really helps us to be satisfied with life once we know why we are here in this story. Any guesses? One really, what is the purpose of your life? If this question, if you ask yourself, what is the answer that you get? What is the purpose of life? To live, okay. To be of service and to experience the richness of life. Very nice. Keep drama alive. Okay. So, the real intention, the reason soul comes to this drama of life is really to know itself. Without the body and mind, soul will never know itself. It's like a vegetable state in nirvana, in our eternal home, where we all 8 billion souls live with Supreme. We have no awareness that there are 8 billion souls here, there is God here, there is silence here. There is no experience without the body and the mind. So the soul comes to, to this planet Earth, gets the body, and then the mind activates, and all kinds of experiences begin. And it's only towards the end of the entire journey that soul awakens. Entire journey, we've all been sleeping. It is towards the end that we awaken and we realize that I am joy. And when you awaken to that choicelessly, it's not like you're trying to give happiness to your family members or to someone. Just your presence will give joy. Be in that, be in that innate nature of who you are. Automatically, people will get joy from you. Mother Nature will get joy. You will never feel like you're giving joy to others. Your presence will make others joyful. And that is the highest level of service, whereas there is no trace of ego that I made them happy or I tried to do this for them. No, I was just present with my eternal nature of joy. And it is in this presence that the joy, that, that presence of that I am joy, that soul realizes how beautiful and powerful it is, that how its presence changes everyone, how it awakens others and helps them connect to their joyful nature too. So this is our purpose. We've not come here to, take all kinds of wealth and name recognition, be the CEOs and CFOs. That is all part of the story. But the real reason soul has come here is to express and experience, basically realize its truth. But majority of the people in this world are still sleeping to their truth. They are still looking for who they are in objects, in people. Really, who you are cannot be found anywhere in this world. It can be only found by knowing who you are and living that life of your truth. I'm also reading a few more comments on what is the purpose of life: to live the way you think is right and don't expect anything in return. Okay, to complete the karma cycle. Well, I don't think it is the karma cycle. Karma cycle is part of the story. And in the story, that karma cycle of good and bad, debit and credit is all there. So that soul goes through those experiences. But soul comes only to express and experience, express its truth, know its truth, and experience it. That's the only reason soul comes. So as we, know, most important, as we know who Supreme is, how he is the only one who doesn't have any story as such. He doesn't take birth through the womb, right? He doesn't have his own body, but he does take support of a human being to share knowledge, to awaken all the souls. So at Brahma Kumaris, our key support in meditation is God. And for me, like, really is his support has made me so double light. Every thought that is against my truth that emerges in the mind, part of the story, all the thoughts in the mind are fixed to run that story. So every thought that is disturbing, every feeling that seems uncomfortable, for me, the easiest thing is to give away to God. That it doesn't belong to me. My truth is just like you. You are never jealous. You are never fearful. So am I. As part of the story, Meghna is going through jealousy, Meghna is going through fear, Meghna is going through hatred. You keep it. I don't want it. I am not that character in the story. So again and again, the more you remember who you are and your godlike beauty, you become very light. Nothing of the story disturbs you. The most disturbing factor of the story is really your own mind. The mind that is carrying a script of thoughts, script of feelings. Those are the ones that disturb us the most. And that's why learning this art of surrendering it to Him, what you will see as you start giving it to Him, then you will see God's pure thoughts. They start flowing in your mind. God's pure elevated feelings, they start flowing through your heart. So you'll find that you've suddenly now your heart and mind are becoming as clean and as pure as God. That is the beauty of surrendering everything to Him. So last dimension that we will go through is, how do I say satisfied with God? Because many of us, when we don't know who He is, there is a part of us that has complaints even against Him. That either you are unfair, or you've not been there for me, or why don't you help? I've prayed so much. I've sung your praise. I've donated money on your name. Why don't you listen to me? Why are you more nice and closer to others, right? When we don't understand God, there's also a part of us that is dissatisfied with Supreme. So this is something I feel, knowing what He can do and what He cannot do will really help us staying satisfied with ourselves and with God. So God, most important to know, He's the biggest abider of law. Biggest abider of law. But He's also the most loving being. So He's lawful and loving, both together. How is that possible? We'll try to understand this. So question for all of you: what does God do out of deep love for ourselves? What can He do? What can God do? What are certain things that are, there are laws which God has to abide by. So there's certain things that God will not do. But what are those things within law that God can do for us? Love to hear from all of you. What can God do for me? Ensure the soul goes through its journey and learnings. Okay. Make me calm down when I'm very upset. Okay. Bring the best in test us via the dharma cycle. Okay. So these are few things, in addition to what you've said. He will never give up on me. He will never ever give up on me. He will unconditionally accept me. So Megha's personal experience, as her understanding of the self, this entire journey, right? It's been over 10 years now with Brahma Kumaris, and this journey where she was trying to learn how to accept herself and the story and understand God and everything. She's always been very honest with God, and mistakes after mistakes she's made, some repeated mistakes, she would go and share, and she would feel that this time at least God must have lost all hope in her, will not support her. But she's always found the deep embrace that he would pull me in, right? Never ever gave up on me. His love was always there. And that is what got tears of joy in my eyes, that how loving he is, how his role is to never give up on me. And he's the only being who can be available 24/7. Our parents, our friends, nobody can be available 24/7 because this is not a physical connection. We are otherwise, there is a limit in the distance and the proximity we are from the people we know and loved by. Our parents could be in a different country, our friends could be in a different place or a different time, they are sleeping. We can't get them to help us all the time. But God is the only being that is available 24/7. He will always empower and encourage you no matter what you might have done. He will always empower you. His biggest thing that he does is he awakens the actor, the soul. You are not your story. You are not Meghna. You are not this face of the story. You are this tiny dot whose only peace, only love, and only joy. This is the only thing he knows about me. He doesn't care about the story. So this is very important to know. Now, question for all of you, what God can do? He can actually do, God can do anything, but he chooses not to do out of love. This is his law-abiding nature. God can do everything, but out of love, he will do all of this. Out of love and law, he will not do certain things. What are those? What are certain things that God cannot do? Love to hear from you. Save us from the effect of karma. Okay, what he cannot do, we are saying he cannot save us from the effect of karma. Soul has to go through the journey. Okay. Answer your prayer in a way that causes injustice or disturbs the law of karma. Very good. Soul will have own seek and find the truth with life experiences. God shows right way to handle the situation. Okay. So these are certain things that he cannot do. He's the law abiding. Like, your own parent, suppose they give you, maybe $10,000, as a support that you're starting something new, maybe a business or something, gives you $10,000. And they see you somehow or the other make mistakes and, finish off those $10,000, waste it off. You go back again to your parent and say, plead and say, no, 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 I'll be more careful. Please, this one last time. Okay, your parents will say, here is another $10,000. But after that, again, if you squander it away, or you're not very careful, or maybe you were careful, but you still lost everything. If you go back to your parents, what will they do? Even though they love you, they will have that law-abiding nature. They can help you again, but they will not. Because they know if they continue to do this, you will never learn and grow up on your own. You'll never know how to figure out things. You will continue to be careless. So God is the supreme parent of the soul. So in order to protect the soul, in order for the soul to not become dependent on God, there are certain things he doesn't do. He will not make someone dead alive. He has the power to do it, but he will not. Because anyways, one day the body will die. If he makes someone alive, how long can that person live? Eventually, we all have to leave our bodies. Body has an age limit. After that, if you keep living in this body, you'll only be suffering, because as the body gets older, there are a lot of different problems that come up. So death is a natural thing for the soul. What is wrong in the death? Whether it is young death or old death, death is death. When my story in that body is over, I will leave it. And it's the dead body. What is wrong with it? So God is not someone who will come and make anyone dead alive. He never ever gets upset, no matter what you might have done. He will never punish you. He will never get upset with you. He will not solve my problems. God, I don't know what I'm going to do. This problem has come in my life. I don't know what to do. You tell me what to do. He will tell you all the things, but he will not really sit and solve that problem for you. He can provide guidance. He can provide support. He can provide encouragement, but he can't do it for you. Because remember the law of the story, the one who does will get. So if God keeps doing everything for me, then he is the one who will get, not me. I'm saying you do it for me and I should get the benefit. Not possible. The story says, the law of the story is the one who does will get. So yes, God can give me wisdom, advice, encouragement, support, love, but he can't do things for me. He can't change my role. He can't say, I don't like this role. Meghna is too impatient. Can you change the story? Can you make her belong to some other family? Can you change all the characters in her story? He can't do that. He can't do that. He doesn't interfere in this, like some of you said, in the karma of ours. He doesn't interfere in the story. So yes, in the story, there are bombs, there are wars, there is extreme violence. He doesn't interfere in the story because the story is running with deep principles of laws. If he comes and interferes, then those laws will there will be an imbalance in the story. There will be partiality in the story. The story is already unbiased. It is giving every soul a flavor of all kinds of experiences. So God doesn't interfere, that's why. We all have to experience violence and non-violence. God can't do anything there. He can't stop the wars. There is benevolence in those wars. There's benevolence in accidents. There's benevolence in everything. So God doesn't say, oh, this war is bad. This kind of non-violence act is good. He says every scene of the drama, his point is, it is neither good nor bad. It is the way it is. His vision is neutral. He's not sitting and judging. This part of the story is good. This part of the story is bad. What is the point of judging? The story is already accurate. It has justice. It has benevolence. It is giving every soul all kinds of flavors. That's why God doesn't interfere. But if you know how he can help you, how you can, once you start your inner journey and you start connecting with God, you'll see how his wisdom will start flowing within you. How his sweet words will start, you'll start hearing those sweet words. He doesn't have voice because he doesn't have that body, but his subtle words, you will hear as if somebody is saying something in your ears. So it's a very beautiful feeling to have this kind of experience from God. So this is what we wanted to cover in this series. Any questions that you might have about this series? Any questions related to the happy path, cultivating satisfaction? I'm reading a comment here. Can you explain how you practically felt his embrace in tough times after making many mistakes? Is this a perspective shift in a situation to see the good or something more? It's basically, you can feel his vibrations. Once once through Brahma Kumaris, you learn all the kind of things you need to take care on this inner path. And that's when you start having deeper connections with him early in the morning, your heart-to-heart connection with him, you will feel his vibrations. Like I'm sharing all the dirt that's inside of me, all the mistakes I might have made in the past, and I could feel his vibrations of acceptance. And slowly, as I started understanding, he says, I don't see the story. What I have known from God is he doesn't see my story. He doesn't even know my story. He says it doesn't matter. It is fixed. You can't do anything about it. I only see your eternal beauty. And I want you to focus on your eternal beauty. Don't focus on the story. So this is how it is. Any other questions? Feel free to raise your hand if you have questions. All right, maybe some will come up. As always, we really appreciate your feedback. I would really appreciate if you're able to share your feedback with us. And I'll just share some links that you can use to give us that feedback. So we are putting in the links there. Your feedback helps. If you have a particular idea on what topic we should cover next month, do share it with us, and we are happy to see how we can accommodate that. And then, your contributions are always welcome. As you know, we are a nonprofit organization, and every course and workshop and classes we offer are all for free. If you've benefited from these classes and you'd like to contribute and for us to continue, feel free to donate. I just copied over also the donation link, so feel free to use that to contribute. And then next month, in the month of September, we are offering Raj Yoga meditation course for just for 4 weeks. On Saturdays, the English version, and the Sundays will be the Hindi version, but this is in person only. Highly recommend. It's a life-changing course, the foundation course that helps you understand deeper knowledge and also how to build connection with God. So this is highly recommended by me. And you can actually register for these courses. Let me share the links to the courses as well. So we are also starting a new nurturing values series called Code Your Destiny. This will be a very fun class on teaching, important concepts of how you can shape up your destiny, how you as a kid can create your own destiny in very simple language with a lot of fun activities and stories. We'll be teaching ages 8 to 14-year-old kids how to code or build or create their own destiny. Highly recommend it. And then last but not the least, next month, we'll start a new series which will focus on uncertainty. How do I navigate uncertainty with confidence? Right? This will start on September 7th. Next weekend, we don't have any class, but we have Sister Shivani coming over here, very well renowned, world renowned personality. And in the Santa Clara Center, Santa Clara Convention Center, there will be 4 talks next Saturday and Sunday. I hope you all registered for it if you are here from Bay Area. And then the weekend after that, we will start this navigating uncertainty with confidence. So you can register for all of these events. I've shared the link on the chat. Hopefully you can register for all of these courses. And any other questions, do let me know. I'm happy to stay back. Any other thoughts or questions that you might have? All good? All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and participating, engaging very actively throughout the series. Really appreciate that. Loads of good wishes from me to all of you. Hope to see you all again in the next series. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us.